One, two, three.
Hello and welcome everyone to Okie Investigations. My name is Trevor Shelby. I'm an Oklahoman who loves to investigate crimes that's happened in my state and across the United States. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a love for true crime. The stories that feature on this show are true. The narrative of each story comes from extensive research through police reports, trial notes, appeals, personal accounts, news reports, and much more. For more information on each story, join us on our webpage, truecrime.blog, and our Facebook page, Okie Investigations. These stories depict violent crimes of all types and may be a trigger for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Now today, we're a little off our game because we're breaking from our regular format. Today we're going to talk about a case that's been bugging me from the day that I first read about it. And it's something that I'm ashamed to say that was never on my radar until now. Now, if you're a regular listener to Okie Investigations, you know that we typically cover unknown cases that's happened 50 to 100 years or more ago. But today we're going to talk about Daniel Robinson and how his case has been handled so far. On June 23rd, 2021, Daniel Robinson, who was a geologist, was last seen heading from a job site in Buckeye, Arizona. If you don't know where that is, that's okay. I had to look it up myself. It's just west of Phoenix. When he left that job site, he just simply disappeared. Think about that for a second. This young man left his job 93 days ago, and no one has seen him. No one has heard from him. He just vanished. Police and other agencies had banded together and searched a 70 square mile area to see if they could spot Daniel or his car, but they found nothing. Then, a month later, on July 19th, a rancher finds Daniel's Jeep in a ravine. It was on its side and badly damaged. Police, who supposedly searched this area, said they missed it because of the terrain. They just simply overlooked it. Well, I wonder what else they overlooked. So then, they focus a search around the car, and they find a human skull. This was later determined to not be Daniel's. So, it must have just been somebody else they were searching for, or not for. Now, you can imagine being a parent and not knowing what's happened to your child. That's precisely what David Robinson has been going through these last 93 days. This is a man that I've never met, but I can say with utmost certainty he has been living the last 93 days with a pit in his stomach. For the last 93 days, he's had a horrible time sleeping. And during these last 93 days, his own mental health has been affected. This is a man who is suffering and has reached out for anyone and everyone that has a voice to tell this story so that we can help find his son. This is a man that for the last 93 days just wants answers. Now, Daniel's father has reportedly said that the police don't suspect foul play in this case. They say this is because they found his wallet and clothes in the vehicle. And I will say that that is odd, but I will also say that that doesn't mean foul play was not involved. It became apparent that the police were giving up and were not looking for answers. So David Robinson did what he must do. The only thing that he could do at this point. He reached out to a private investigator named Jeff McGrath. Now, this is not a cheap avenue to pursue. David started a GoFundMe to help find Daniel. They have received, to this date, $114,000. Now, this might seem like a lot of money, But when you're employing a team of real professionals analyzing evidence that are organizing ground and air searches, and they're also covering housing, this is just a drop in the bucket to what this all might end up costing. Now, you might ask, why are they paying to analyze evidence? Shouldn't that be on the police side of things? Well, you would think that, but it was the private detective who took the black box out of Daniel's Jeep. They were the ones who analyzed the data. They found out that the Jeep had been crashed over and over again. After the first initial crash, that Jeep drove an additional 11 miles. Then, after the first crash, someone tried to start the vehicle 40 more times. The black box recorded every single attempt. Now I ask you, who tries to start a car that's on its side and has had its airbags deployed? Something is not adding up here. It doesn't take a genius to see that the wreck might have been staged. The police just refuse to listen. David was reported to have said, "The problem is they think he wrecked his Jeep, undressed at the crash site, joined a monastery to become a monk, and that's the theory they stand on no matter what." Volunteers have continued to look for Daniel when others have given up. Recently, the Please Help Find Daniel Twitter page has put out the following statement on the rumor that Daniel has been acting differently in the days leading up to his disappearance. And this is what they posted. "Neither my family nor the Buckeye Police Department are mental health professionals to be able to diagnose mental health conditions. However, Daniel never expressly communicated to the family that he was going through anything. Had he done so, we would have sprung into action. We have a close family structure and promote healthy lines of communication within. We fervently believe that if Daniel were indeed in a crisis, our family would have been the first to know. Were there behaviors that weren't typical leading up to his disappearance? Yes. However, as stated, neither me nor the Buckeye Police Department are professionals or adept enough to make that judgment. Furthermore, if we are alluding to the fact that someone in a mental health crisis doesn't deserve the same amount of care and concern as anyone else, we truly have a bigger problem at hand. Daniel's mental health does not abate the Buckeye Police Department's inactivity in this investigation." Daniel is described as 5'8", 165 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. If anyone has any information on the whereabouts of Daniel Robinson, please contact the Buckeye Police Department at 623-349-6400. We will feature updates on this case, so make sure you subscribe, so when we have new episodes, you will be the first to know. Overall, this is a pretty sad case. I think it's been mistreated in several areas, not just the police, but in media as well, and this really needs more of a national response. And I hope it gets it very soon. Anyways, guys, I will see you all next time. See ya.